So, you've started playing CB. You're creating a character. Going through the tutorial. Killing the boss. Unlock mace sergeants. Iron cap archers. Iron cap swordsmen.
Attack!
Get yourself into your first siege.
Units, smash assemble!
And then you hit level 9, where you open up the unit tree, where there is an array of units to go for. But which ones do you spend your honor on first? And which ones are going to ensure you don't instantly get crushed moving up the levels? So sit back, relax, and let's have a chat about it. Right, so you've got to level 9, you've unlocked the unit tree. What unit is going to be best for you to start putting some hours into? Start putting that very important experience, leveling them up, mastering them, and what are you going to get the most benefit out of doing that too? Currently, in my opinion, the best hands-off and sort of easiest unit to use that is just good all round. It's fast, it's super tanky. You don't need to send it to the supply. And if you're an older player right now, you already know what I'm talking about. But my number one pick for a new player, once you unlock units and you get honor, is going to be Spear Sergeants. Now, I speak about them a lot on stream, but these guys overall, just incredible. It does rely on you mastering them out. So you're going to want to save up those scrolls of mastery and just slowly work your way through. They're not going to be overly great straight away. They'll be tanky enough, they'll be okay. But as soon as we get down here and we get 3% health per second when using Cover Commander, that is where they really shine. That's where they don't need to go back to the supply. And yeah, just tanky. You can keep them on point. I've had battles with these in like high lobbies where they are surviving so much stuff, and yeah, like some would say they are overpowered, but they're probably one of the only units I'd say I'm more than happy for them to be overpowered, because they sort of slow the gameplay down. They don't do a huge amount of damage. You will get some kills with them, but it'll be very slow kills. But used properly, they are really fun. Like, just putting them out there, advancing. If a hero's on their own and you advance into them, because of this thing here, they'll triple strike him. And there's like 40 of these guys. So if you have a full stack, it's like an instant death. And then obviously we've also got that they restore 200 health when they get hit by range. Like, they're just constantly healing. So like someone brings Ratan Vipers, or sorry, Ratan Marksman. These guys will just instantly fill their health back out. It's quite interesting to see. So yeah, I'll show you what their healing looks like. It's crazy how quickly they'll get themselves to the top, and we'll have a look at that now.
Protect your commander!
Yep, it's fast. It comes back fast. And like 40 of these guys, 15,000 health. Obviously, I've got very good doctrines on them. But just shove what you can on them at the moment and just put some time working away at these. Just know they're not going to be great to straight out the gates, but they have such a large room for improvement with the mastery, with the doctrines. Vet line wise, I would advise going high because of the mastery and the 3% health. Having that extra 6% health, having more health on these guys is obviously going to benefit them more, because that'd be higher for a higher 3%. And yeah, the other thing you can do that's nice with these that you can't do with a lot of units, that, well, a lot of seasonal units, is you can go we can go into the mastery tree, if you have spare honor, that this is a very late game thing to do. I would not advise wasting your honor doing this straight out the gates by any means, but they do have the potential that you can take them even further by just doing the branches on their tree. So for me, spear sergeants are the number one unit to level up first, to shove a lot of your experience into. On to the next one. The next one is a nice, easy one to get. Does require a doctrine to make it work, though, so keep that in mind. Once you get the doctrine, then these guys become so good. They hit way past their pay grade in terms of the units they can take out for how much they cost to bring out. And especially when we have new seasons come out, you know, tier 3 lock, it's gonna be a good one to have. And yeah, let's have a little look. Elite halberdiers, blue halberdiers, whatever we want to call them, they are very, very solid. But the main thing you need for these boys to make them work is this here. You want to brace, or bracing stuns enemies, basically. It's a stun doctrine. Forget about the rest of these. This is the main thing to make it work. I know that's kind of a high criteria to make it work, but you never know. You could just suddenly receive that, and then you go, oh yeah, got the blue halbs. Chuck it on those. Put them into phalanx. Let them brace up. Leave them there, and things will just melt in front of them. Now, in terms of their mastery, it is helpful, but it's not 100% necessary. It's really good. It increases their damage. They get restore some health. But they're still very, very good without it. So it's not a like a must-have like I would say it would be with the spear sergeants. It's just something that when you have it, chuck some in there, build it up, and yeah, and then you'll have a really, really good tier 3 unit just sitting there. Good anti-cav. Obviously, when we get into the chariot things get a little bit wavy because they don't take chariots out, but I'm sure by the time the next season comes out, the Emperor's chariot will be nerfed to the ground, or at least will be able to be stopped by anti-cav. Like Madao, a tier 5 anti-cav doesn't stop the chariot. So, but essentially before the chariot was a thing, these guys would stop way higher tier cav than they should do, and do really, really well in infantry fights, as long as you park that phalanx on the side of the thing. Don't try and push it in. Just put it on the side and let them come to you, is what I would say about these. So that's my third choice, is a nice tier 3. Let's get on to the next one. Right, my fourth option. Now this is one that I was teetering on the fence of, because I know the hate this is gonna get. I know the hate. And I know how that feels in a battle where everyone brings these out and you're like, please, for the love of God, put them away. But with the amount of T5 range that you get into once you get up the levels and you get into the bigger, badder sieges, it is always quite useful to have these in your back pocket to be able to anti-range other people's range. So, if you don't guess what I'm talking about, yes, it's the longbows. Don't rage, don't rage, don't rage. Just hear me out. If you talk about longbows, if you're using them properly, like if you take them out, first, before you take them out, you press tab. You look what the enemy has. They have, what do they have? They have 6 things of tier 5 archers, or they have falconettis, or they have arbalists. Range. They got loads of range. You go, grab my longbows. Grab your longbows, chuck them somewhere high, anti-range, 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 anti-range. Put your longbows away, bring back out your shields. Great, you've done a good job. And that's I would say is the proper way to play your longbows. Anti-range. Just go and anti-range things. You can pick up so many kills and the battle is all the better for it because you've just removed 3 or 4 stacks of tier 5 archers. So, yeah, this probably is going my fourth option. I wouldn't say do this first by any means. This is not Spear Sergeants number 1 by all accounts. Even the blue halberdiers, tier 4 halberdiers, before these. This is just one of those next ones that I'd keep an eye on doing, because you're going to start hitting those high level range. But for those first 200 levels, you're probably not going to see an awful lot of heavy hitting range units. You might see a few Shenjis, you might see some stuff like that, but they're all relatively close range, can be kind of countered. It's fine. It's fine. It's when you get later on in time. But if you do manage to get these at some stage, just keep them in mind. And then the vet line on these, I'd go top line. You want anti-range. Increases damage dealt to range units by 40%. Don't bother with this 12% to all enemies. Go 40% anti-range stuff. Get out. Done. Easy. So, yeah. I know I'm getting a lot of hate for that one, but longbows, I just think there's a lot of value. There is a lot of value, especially in the current a lot of T5 archers. Okay, on to the next one. The next one is a seasonal unit. Relatively new, actually. And it's been has been nerfed. It is super powerful and was even more powerful. But I just don't see it being nerfed at any point soon or like changed. I can see it staying really, really quite strong for a long time, just from the way the mechanics work. But obviously this is going to be a tier 5, so it's going to be a lot of grind to get to it. This is, yeah, as I said, seasonal, so challenges wise. But just maybe one to think about future wise. Set your season up for this season and work your way to get it. This will probably be one of the only seasonal ones on the list, just because I want to keep it a bit easier, because obviously it's for new players. But this is just for as you're going along, set your season, and yeah, and then eventually get yourself to the, unlock the challenges and get yourself to it. It took me a little while to get it. When I came back to the game, I put them in, and obviously this is a pretty obvious one. It's gonna be Spartans, Spartan chosen. I just can't see these guys getting nerfed anytime soon. I don't even use them that much, but the actual potential from these guys is pretty huge. Takes a little bit more to play them than obviously like the Spear Sergeants. They're super easy. Just cover commander, advance, cover commander, advance, easy. These guys got to maybe a little bit more thinking about where you're sending them out with Spartan Vengeance. But apart from that, there's not really a huge amount to say. It's just a good unit to work towards, just because I can see longevity in how good these guys are going to be for a long time. And then when you get into later gameplay, you're going to be very happy you got like most of the way to get these things. Because obviously when you're a new player, it is a lot easier to get loads and loads of kills, loads of heroes kills, and get these challenges unlocked super easily. Because when you start getting to the higher lobbies, getting the same amount of kills is going to not be as easy. So you will unlock units faster as a new player, as long as you kind of grasp the idea of the game and you're getting involved and getting good hero kills, putting down artillery, doing all like the challengey stuff. So yeah, Spartans. Again, I know this is a bit of a laughable one because it's tier 5 and it's a seasonal unit, but it's one to work towards. On to the next one. Right, this one is again a seasonal unit. It's a tier 4, and there's only one reason to get this unit. And again, this is probably going to be a little more long-term goal than a straightaway goal. But I think it's important. By getting this unit, you're also helping yourself get yourself a lot of XP every week. It's a cav unit. I probably wouldn't use it in Siege. I just don't think it has the same benefit. But as a PvE unit, it is probably the best in the game. So keep that in mind. But this is going to be Kriegsbruders. Now, Kriegsbruders are obviously you wouldn't see them much in higher level siege by any means, but if you go to a bandit raid or like any special event that's a PvE event, you will see Kriegsbruders. The reason why you see this is because they basically heal when they attack. So you want to go top line. So when you kill an enemy, you basically reduce their assault by 1 second. And their assault here, full assault even, will basically give you back health. So if you kill, you can click it again. If you kill, you can click it again. And you basically can never run out of health if you're doing it fast enough. The only thing you've got to do is X them, click, X, click, X, click. Otherwise, if you just put them in, do that, and that resets, and you try and do it again, it won't go off. You need to like reset them, if that makes sense. But the reason why I'm saying this one is literally for bandit raids. You don't want to be that guy who's going into bandit raids, everyone else charges off with cav, and you get like 10 kills and you've wasted one of your like bandit raids to get yourself your experience for your units. It's a really brutal system. On that same vein, if you are a new player, wait till the end of the week to do bandit raids. If you can. If you're playing enough that you can actually schedule your CB time, wait till the end of the week, because you get all the idiot players like myself who have all the units who will just run around, get 400 kills, and anyone else just gets 20. So end of the week, it's kind of less likely to happen. Not saying it won't happen, but less likely. Yeah, so Kriegsbruders PvE, number one PvE unit for me is Kriegsbruders. So just keep it in mind, not one to go for straight away, just one to keep in mind for future. On to the next one. The next one has become very popular due to the chariot, but its value, what it costs to bring out, and the value it gives to you is massive. It can be insta-killed by fire. It is, but it's okay, because it's cheap enough. It's cheap leadership. It debuffs everything, and it can take on stuff way higher than it should do. It just, the debuffs that it puts out basically means that nothing does any damage. It can be a real staple to a push in terms of making everything take less damage. And that is, of course, the Ratan pikemen. Ratan pikemen, obviously, very, very good for chariot, slows it down, allows us all to get on it, but also is very good at just in pushes, being able to just poison everything up, make everything do no damage, and yeah, just as a filler unit for 85 leadership, you really can't go wrong. It's such a cheap, easy unit to chuck in, and yeah, I don't have anything, but the only bad thing I can say about it really is that it burns. So with the current rune that's happening now, maybe it won't happen in future seasons, but when you die, some people leave burn trails on the floor that obviously Ratans burn really easily, so they can get really affected by that, but it doesn't really matter too much. Just chuck them in, let them bleed or poison everything up, and if you've got fellow teammates there with units, it will help them massively, because everything will be doing no damage. In terms of the mastery, the mastery is good to have. It's obviously a cheaper mastery because it's a tier 3. So, yeah, it's... sorry, tier 3, tier 2. I'm going to get comments in that for that. Tier 2. Yeah. Mastery, not 100% necessary, but I would probably get it over time. I still maintain, put your scrolls of mastery in your spear sergeants first. These guys can follow later. But again, really, really good unit to have. On to the next one. Now, this last unit is very self-explanatory. It's a T5 melee unit that you don't have to do a seasonal unlock for. It's kind of an all-round big boy. It always does okay. It's like a solid unit. Once you get some good docs in it, you really can make it a force to be reckoned with. I wouldn't say go and dump all your honor straight away on it, but if you are starting to work your way through and you've got the choice of getting between multiple units, I think these ones are probably the best ones to go for in terms of if you get the choice between honor units. If you get a choice with seasonal units, then I'd probably go like shield maidens or something like that, shield maidens, if you have that choice. But yes, we're gonna have a look at this. Iron Reaper, of course. Iron Reaper. No mystery why I put this in. It's an honor tier 5 unit. It's tanky. It does a lot of damage. You just make sure you're pressing 5 to change between the flail and the sword. I think if you're a new player and you got given these straight away, you wouldn't realize that you have to change between the two weapons. Change to flail, charge in. If it's shields, stick with the flail. Always charge with the flail. If they're not shields, charge in with the flail, press 5 once they've done a few hits, change to sword, go mad. And then change back to flail once the fight's done. Yeah, not much to be said, but if you have the choice to get a T5 honor unit, then I would say this one. Shenji's at a push, but it's a little bit more unique in terms, a little bit more niche compared to these. These are just kind of your everyday sluggers. So yeah, Iron Reapers. One bonus one. Now this last bonus one, it's only because I just mentioned it when I was filming that last bit where I was like, shield maidens, if you hadn't, spoiler alert, shield maidens. But I remember when I was doing a little trial of leveling a character and they gave me like a random box that I could unlock a seasonal unit. I'm not sure if this is even, if it was just like a weird event that I was in or something like that. But essentially I got an option to unlock a tier 5 seasonal unit. And so that would be probably, yes, it would be shield maidens. It would be shield maidens only because, I don't know, I think they've now been sort of got themselves to level. They've been kind of buffed, then taken down, then now they've been buffed again, but they're at like a good level. They can be a little bit confusing to play, so I wouldn't say this is a out the gate like level 1 having shield maidens, unless you're willing to spend a lot of money. But yeah, I think learn how to play them. That would be like go spear mode, click guardian, so they just go in a little bit, guardian so they get the buff, cover commander, sword mode, and then they've got their defensive buff on while they're attacking, then just keep cycling that, and that's a good way to start with shield maidens. But they're a really solid unit. Once you get them down, they're not hard to play, and they genuinely can whip a decent amount of kills. So if I wouldn't say go to the seasonal thing and unlock them, but if you get a choice to unlock some units, it would be this shield maidens or probably Orochi because of chariots. But I didn't want to put Orochi because I'm not sure what the state of chariots will be when, you know, next season or the season after. So let's try and give this video a little bit of longevity. So yeah, shield maidens, little bonus unit. And that's it, everyone. I know it's a little bit scattered and a little bit sort of rushed in there, but my main ones for a new player would be spear sergeants, 100%. Just easy to play. And obviously the tier 3 halberdiers, get a little stun doctrine for them. They eat in the low tiers. They absolutely, in the low sort of sieges, up to sort of 250, 300. They'll hold their own. And then the spear sergeants will just be with you forever if they stay in their current state. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful. As I said, it's been a bit scattered, but those are the units that I would advise heading towards as a new player. But definitely get on the spear sergeants first. Yeah, take care. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.